All right. So another big deal just went down. Ja Morant for Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray. Now, we thought that Ja might be moving sometime soon, right? There have been talks that just seems like he wasn't going to be with the team any longer. I did not expect the Trailblazers to be jumping in on this. If that's the value, then, get this player in, right? I would have loved to get a first round pick if I'm the Grizzlies, but let's just stick with the Trailblazers for a second here. You have Drew Holiday and Scoot Henderson, who were your point guards last year. Damian Lillard's on the roster and plans to play next year, right? Now you add in Ja Morant to that equation. That's 4 point guards. Drew can run some too, but you probably still prefer him at the point, right? 3 other guys are point guards. You're not running a Damian Lillard and Scoot backcourt. You're not running a Ja and Scoot backcourt. So if I'm Scoot now, I'm a little confused because I just had, I'd had some underwhelming seasons, right? But just in this playoffs, right, I'd had some good games. I was playing backup point guard. I was getting comfortable in that role, right? And now you bring in Ja when we already have Dame who's coming in and we do still have Drew. I'm like, what is my role now? And if I'm Dame, I'm like, am I about to get moved? Because again, this doesn't make sense for all of us to be on this roster. Even if they move Drew, that is Dame and Ja. I don't see that being a real backcourt. Like, that's silly to me. So I just don't know where the rest of this team is even going at this point. They just seen a trade and was like, hey, we'll figure out the rest, which I get to a degree. But if I'm these players, I'm genuinely confused. I 100% expect Drew to potentially be moved because he probably has the most value out of those guys. But on the other hand, Drew's the only one that you look at and again can say, oh, he's ran shooting guard. He's 6'5". He defends. He could play next to Ja. He could play next to Dame. He could play next to Scoot. So then again, you might not even want to trade him. You might want to trade one of these other guys, but Scoot's value probably isn't where you would want it to be. I don't know what the offers would be for him. And it'd just be crazy, I think, to give up on your second overall pick this early into his career. I think it would be a mistake unless you're getting something amazing back. Like if you find a team that's like wanting to go into a rebuild stage and they're willing to give you something of legitimate value, maybe that like, are you trading him for a Trey Murphy? Does that feel like something you want, like a Trey Murphy and a hurt? Like, I don't know. But so you don't really want to move him, right? Drew Holiday, the value will kind of be there, especially to like a good team. I just don't know if you'll get back the pieces that quite make sense for you because now you're looking to compete, right? Don't know what the value is on Dame. You obviously just got Ja for nothing. So I'm just kind of confused on where the Trailblazers go next from here. Because you have those guys on the roster, right? You have Denny still, you have Mara, you have Donovan Clingan. Like you have good pieces here. But I'm now like, you have 4 point guards and you just moved Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray, who were some of your forwards. I don't know if Chris Murray was still in the rotation or not, but I'm now just like, man, like you guys better have another deal already lined up. This is a 2K trade. This is a 2K trade. You're rebuilding with a bunch of computers and you're like, oh, I'm going to get Ja and now I'm about to go flip Dame. Like that's exactly what just happened. So I'll be curious to see what they do. And if all these players are on the roster come October, I will be shocked. Now, from the Grizzlies perspective, we couldn't even get a first round pick. Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray. And if I'm fans of some of these other teams that were looking to get Ja, like if I'm a Heat fan, I'm like, we couldn't give you like Wiggins and I don't know, get one of those random guys on their bench that they get undrafted or in the second round that play good. Like that's the equivalent of a Chris Murray at this point. I'd be like, damn, that was it. How is Ja not on our roster right now? There's a lot of fan bases probably out there like, damn, how is Ja not on our roster right now? As a matter of fact, it would be interesting to just a little think piece because Timberwolves just got LaMelo. If that was the price for Ja, did you even have to give up Naz Reid for Ja? I don't know where else you make those contracts work on the top of my head, but you might have been able to get Ja without even giving him Naz Reid. I don't know. Anyway, though, he's on the Trailblazers. For the Grizzlies, you just gave up Ja Morant, right? At the time where his value was at an all-time low, and it's showing. Like, I get if you wanted to just move on from him, but damn. Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray. Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray. That's it. No draft compensation from what we know. No money involved. That's it. You basically just gave him up for nothing. You might as well have let him walk in free agency at that point. Like legitimately, like there was no point. If that's the package that you were going to get, I don't know what the point of this was. You might as well have just kept him on the roster and let him play his value up to some degree if this was the package. Him leaving in free agency is the equivalent of this. And this is no disrespect to like Jeremy Grant, but he's been getting worse over these years. He doesn't play defense anymore. Doesn't rebound. He's not doing anything for your team, and he's not someone that you're flipping because the Trailblazers have been trying to flip him and nobody wants him. Chris Murray's a guy. I don't know what this deal does for you. And in terms of the Trailblazers now, I think you really do just have a lot to think about because you were just a playoff team. Denny Avdia had an all-star season. You're now bringing in Dame and Ja potentially. Let's say you move on from Scoot Andrew. You're still not bringing in Dame and Ja. I just don't even know what that looks like realistically, because neither one of those guys are going to come off the bench. So you're going to have a backcourt of Dame and Ja. This is just a trade that I would have never predicted because I think for both sides, you're kind of confused. The Trailblazers, I see it to a degree of like, oh, this is a very cheap player. Let's do it. From the Grizzlies, though, I'm just like, what was the point? Because they're not even a team that like are in a position where it's like, we have to wash our hands of this. We have to get rid of this player. We have to move on. Maybe something happened in the locker room. I mean, he has been having issues and stuff like that. Obviously, it's a job. But they weren't like the Hawks where it's like a team where it's like, we might as well just get this contract off the books because we can go and sign some other players or we need to re-sign some guys. Like the Grizzlies don't even have that on their roster yet that they need to be looking at of like, oh, let's at least free up some money next year that makes sense. There was really nothing that to be gained, in my opinion, from moving Ja for these type of pieces. And maybe this was the best offer, is just getting an expiring contract. I don't know. But this is a weird trade for the landscape of the league, and it's cool to see Ja going somewhere else. I'll be curious to see how long he stays in Portland. This feels like it could very much be a short-term stop. I'll be curious to see if Dame's still on the roster, if Drew's still on the roster, what happens with Scoot Henderson after he's finally showing flashes of like some real promise. This is a weird trade. And yeah, this is a very perfect time for me to just say, I don't know ball.